want to try something new today. I'm kind of excited about it. I saw it like briefly a while ago, which is like this choose your own adventure game. So I'm gonna try it. It's supposed to be like based off a book that Steve Jackson, I think, was the author's name. It's Steve Jackson's Sorcery. I think Steve Jackson's the name of the author. And they basically turned it into a video game. The adventure, like one of those choose your own adventure books, they turned into a video game. So I don't know exactly how it's gonna go, but my computer was like, nah, I'm not gonna show the game you put in game mode. You have to display your whole computer. So there's gonna be a white bar at the top. Oh, there is music. Let me pause my music then. I don't need two different musics going at the same time. I don't think there's any voice narration in this. Hi, Katie. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we have walked. Just because I don't think there's any voice narration. I'll do it. We have walked the wilds of Kazakbad, through Kara and the spiteful backlands, all the way to Mopang. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, and vengeful gods. Now it is here, the crown of kings. It is said that the crown is our forge, only found by Kalana the Reformer, a lowly foot soldier who became emperor of the Western world. Such is the power of the crown. The air crackles with influence. Should we take it? I should wait. Wait, find out what happens if it's like a trap or something. No, we're gonna wait. Oh. The crown sits unguarded on a pedestal of light. After so many hardships, can't really be so simple. Or is this yet another deception? Sure enough, as you think it, the image of the crown begins to flicker. You turn about and see something approaching. And startle yourself awake. You're alone, exhausted in a little hut. No, we're dreaming. Okay. Your unimaginable journey is not even a single step begun. Yay! Inkle! Okay, that's the people that made it. Yeah, Steve Jackson. Steve Jackson. It's a choose your own adventure book that they animated into a video game. And I think there are 4 books technically in this series that they turn into this video game. It's sunrise, you dress, breakfast on bread and goat's milk, and collect a pack and sword from your bedside. Test the blade. You pause to test the blade against your thumb. The blacksmith has done well. The edge is keen and draws a narrow line of blood. Outside the hut, you hear the outpost settlement stirring into life. Alright, music's out. We'll keep this music really far down. But just there's a little something in the background. Okay. Here for luck. Taking a moment more, you close your eyes and raise a prayer to your spirit guide. This morning it has the form of a panther, but what will it become once your journey truly begins? A giant calm descends on you. Time to go. Time to depart then. You flip back the flap of the hut and step into the early morning sun. Shine. Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the Great Wall. The frontiers people of this teeny settlement are well aware of your mission. Greet them. You turn to them and bow. Some smile in reply, but are too afraid to approach. Others make gestures of protection. You are beyond the Great Wall, so they believe you to be cursed. Oh, great. A man is waiting on the path to the Cantopini Gate, the final doorway between Adelan and the wilds of Kakabad. You recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster warriors. He holds out his hand. Greetings, Sergeant. He touches his forehead with 2 fingers. You are almost ready, my lady. He says, I have for you a gift from the king. 24 gold pieces is all we can spare this time. He holds out the pouch. Take it. You accept the gift gracefully. Thank you. You should buy some supplies before you pass the wall, the sergeant says, and you must collect your spell book if you wish magic to aid you. Finally, you should wish to practice your swordplay. I will go at least 1 round with you. He points with his staff towards a training ground. Okay. Let's go train. Ready my sword. Okay. To begin, we will practice the stances. First, defend yourself. Okay, so I have to choose from down below. Drag to change to power attack. Okay, so so as far as I pull over is how much power I'm doing. And then based off that, it changes what's down here. By defending, you will receive the minimum damage from any attack he makes. He makes light attack. Next attack will be my strongest, he declares. If you should perform a full attack, you may overpower me, but otherwise it'd be best to defend yourself. Okay. Clean up your power for the next turn. Attempts a strong attack, but you only receive a small amount of damage. He's weaker now, so his next attack will be lower. Okay, I think I'm getting this. You should choose a weak attack. Sideswipe. Oh, I did medium. Okay. You shack lower, save more power for the next turn. Her power go. Okay, so if I want more, I need to do that. If I want to do small, I do this. Okay. Which takes him down. I don't have enough to overpower him. Let's just defend. So that regains our that, and then we can come in. Okay, I think I get the fighting. Okay. So what we don't want yeah, so we want us to do that. Okay. So based off how well, like we can keep trying this and redoing it, or we can. Okay, I think that's enough training. Very good. Okay, so we did that. Rations. Hi Steven. How's it going? Small traders and settlements supply the warriors with weapons, armor, food, and clothing. 2 gold pieces per rations. Let's just do 4. Hi, Nanny. You must eat every day or you will suffer. Eating more will give you extra strength, but it's not necessary. Okay, so we just gotta make sure we eat every day then. One of the huts set slightly back from the others is decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. This is where the mage is. He's been preparing our spellbook for days. Okay. Tell me how to use the book. Each spell is crafted through the alignment of 3 stars. Spell Zap, for example, is aligned by those 3 things, but that's not important. What it matters is what is called. Zap will give you control over lightning. Hot will create a fireball. FOF will create a force field around you. Yes, more. I don't know, whatever the rations are, we just have to keep an eye on our rations and just make sure we eat once a day. I'm gonna guess it's like bread or something. Or cured meat, maybe. Law gives you control over unintelligent creatures. Wall is quite different and uses different stars you see, but it will create an invisible barrier. You'll find the rest in the book. Thank you. He scratches absently at his ear. Remember that some spells will cost you effort to use, but the ones that don't will not work without a focus, an item of some kind. Okay, so some spells... Okay, there's 48 spells. Okay, so this costs stamina. Okay, so some cost gold, some need an item. Okay, we'll deal with that as we go. Yeah, we're human. I think we are a warrior of some type. Yeah, so our rations are basically like meat and fruit. Okay, approach the gate. We are everything we need. We enter the foot of the Mighty Gate is sealed. The sergeant places one hand in the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you. But you will have no difficulty. The stars in the place allow a adopt spell to be crafted. Okay. So we have some magic. So D-O-P. Yeah, it looks like Rive Ride more than that. Alright, you wave this. You weave the spell. One by one, the great tumblers of the door begin to crack and groan. Then the hinges turn, and with a noise like hail on a canvas roof. These gates have not opened since our last champion was lost, the sergeant says. I wish you more luck than he. Perhaps you will even meet him on your travels. We get to choose. This is like an adventure book, so we get to choose like how we respond. I think this was a book. I don't know if the choices are all the same, but it was like quite literally a book that they turned into a video game. I'd say I fear he is dead. The Sightmaster nods, peering at something in the horizon. I believe he's returning, but transformed. I hope you do not meet the same fate. He stands back from you. Okay, entering the gate together. I have several on my phone. Yeah, it looks like fun, which is why I wanted to play it. And it's like kind of cartoony, nice low graphics. So my computer can handle that while streaming. And it looks like fun. Did I step into the shadow of the wall? Oh, welcome to Ghost and Raiders. Welcome, welcome. We're playing an adventure game. Quite literally like a book that we're reading and kind of playing. How was your stream? Hi, Naren. Hi, Ghost. Hi, Rachel. Together you step into the shadow of the wall. One last word. When you have the crown, find the highest point you can. We will be watching. I understand. Do not wish you a safe journey to Kyrie. For the way ahead, it will not be safe, the sergeant murmurs as he peers into the distance. The Sight Master warriors are selected from birth for their incredible powers of telescopic vision. You cannot help but wonder how far he can see. You can ask him. Lots of rogues and thieves from there. Oh, you should get there by the sun. Has reached the peak from there. 3 routes lead to that. No single route is safe. And beyond? Cannot see that so far. Once you cross there, we'll be in the backlands. They say night and day are controlled by forces other than the sun. Alright. Hi, R2. She was okay, stressful, as always with Call of Duty. Nice. Alright, into Kazakhstan. The path winds through the slopes of the wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and the eerie silence is broken only by the calling of the occasional crow. There's a spell for hearing what they say, but you do not have the equipment it requires. The birds appear to pause in the air to examine you as they pass. They make you uneasy, as if you were an intruder in their presence. Barely an hour beyond the wall, the air begins to grow foul. It is infected with pesticides, and it saps the energy from our body. Now we should cover our mouth. But it's no good. They warned you of this. You will grow accustomed to it the longer you are out here, but for the moment you will have to be very careful. Okay. We just lost half our stamina. Do you want to go cross country or low rise? So looks like low rise leads us to a village. Cross country. We could go to a different village. It looks like a farm. Where are we going? Okay, we're going up here. So this... There is a winding road. Pillage the village. I don't know if I can pillage the village. We can go that way, though. An hour passes and you crest a small hillock, from the top of which you see a path continuing downwards into a small settlement of huts. This must be Cantopi. Look at the village. From the distance, it's hard to make out much of the town, except that it must be desperately poor. The fields on either side are brown and caked with mud, and a few pinned animals are thin and wizen like thirsty vines. No matter the Sight Master warriors don't trouble themselves to protect this place. There's nothing here to protect. Okay, so we can go to the village, or we can avoid the village. Avoiding the village looks like that takes us the wrong way, though. So we can go this way. Of course, if you cannot handle a town like Ketapai, then you should not hope to survive Kazakhstan proper. You must follow the path down into the town. The round huts are made of hard-baked white clay, and the roofs are thinly thatched. As you pass, eyes appear at dark doorways, tracking your every move. For a moment, you think they will allow you to pass unchallenged, but then a villager appears from one of the dwellings and blocks your path. Sammy wanted to pillage. Which one should we go at? Look at, threaten, push him out of the way, or cast a spell. We're on this adventure together, guys. You guys can help me pick what we do. I'm kind of tempted to threaten him. Cast a spell? What spell? Do it? Okay. Alright. It can cause depression. That heavy streams that don't make me learn my qualities. I'm not sure how long to stay because I'm only doing a lot of buffering. Okay. Alright, so we can cause depression. Hi, Tyann. We can clone the caster. We also have the option to cause it a... I don't think Law is going to be our friend. We also zap, which is create lightning. So should we give the guy depression or shall we use lightning? Lightning or depression? Let's see what depression does. Depression? Okay. That was 6? No. That was sap. Cause depression. Alright. You cast your spell and watch as the villager's shoulders slump. All the fight has gone out of him. He sits down in the mud, staring off into the distance. We've given him crippling depression, guys. Greetings, you declare. You know things from you. The man only grunts in reply. He is too depressed to talk. You leave the man to his dismal thoughts. You stride into the very center of the village. There are a few larger houses here. Even Kennedy has an ability, it seems, but the only spot of interest is a small inn offering food for sale. We gave him the big sad. We gave him crippling depression. Very cool now. Alright, should we, I don't think we really need to go into the inn because we have 4 rations. Hi, Panda. Welcome, welcome. Perfect. While they're all crying, steal their shit. We'll eat 1 ration here. Alright, so we've ate our food for the day. We're gonna pass the inn. We really don't need to go in. Taverne's not worth your time. It is poor and menagerie to offer much hospitality. You head out of Canterbury and along the path into the Samutani Hills. Passing the outlining huts, you feel strangely uneasy. A hissing from within, sly faces appearing in the doorway, make you feel decidedly unwelcome. Then at the edge of the town, you pass a large boulder. And once 2 rough-cut villagers spring out with swords drawn. Bandits! 2 against 1, one declares. You've lost, calls the other. So hand over your things. Come on. Let's deal with these. I don't have an option to cast a spell. I have hand over backpack, reason with them, or deal with these curs. Since we're going aggressive, I think it's gonna be the last one. You draw yourself to your full height. You must have mistaken me for someone else, you declare. You will suffer for that mistake. The bandits growl and advance on you, one on either hand. Ooh, now we can cast a spell. What do we have for spells today? Okay, L's not our favor right now. I can summon darkness. We can create a force field. Or... Okay, I don't have a bandage pipe. Okay, so our options really are we can... I don't have a C. C is not available to me. So I can do a force field or I can do darkness. Those are really our only two options. Darkness is the one that takes less stamina. You cast a spell, the bandits flinch. Range be incinerated by a fireball, but what happens is smoke begins to rise from your body and dissipates into the air. The bandits start to laugh, and then their good humor dies. The first comes for your blood. That didn't work, Ghost. We're fighting bandits. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Alright, the first bandit closes on you, crackling and grinning. You should have make things easier for yourself. The bandit guards charging forward with a sword. You are in good defense. You are safe. Enough of this. You aim for a savage blow at his heart. His own attack is easily turned. The bandit raises his sword, ready to protect himself. Okay, if we both defend, I have stamina. You drop back, raising your sword to protect your body. He circles the other way. Nope, I'm not doing good. Okay, defend. He stays low himself. You might need to redo this one. I don't want to lose that much stamina. Okay. So place. Just cut. His eyes. Okay, you should have made things easier for yourself. The bandit guards launches forwards with his sword. You launch a strong attack, knocking him back hard. The smile from his drops away for the moment. He's badly bruised. He narrows his face in readiness. You cut the imbecile no slack. You go for a start with all of your strength. The bandit gaps his last as you run him through. Oh god. Flawless fighting. The second bandit takes one look at his dead colleague and turns and makes a run for him. You let him go. He will tell others not to try interfering with Andalanners in the future. Turning back to your path, you begin walking once more. About half an hour the way becomes an uphill incline. Begins mark the true start of the wilderness. Beyond the teeny outposts, there are a scattered homestead and a thriving city port, all touched by cruelty and isolation and fear. The backlands and the long shadow cast by the Mumpeg fortress darkened everything. And this crown stolen, things will only grow worse. In the long years since Kalana, the reformer, founded the alliance, the crown has passed from kingdom to kingdom every 4 years, ensuring each one has a turn to lead. But no more. Redstone, Littleland, Galatheria, and Bryce have all enjoyed its power. But the crown came to Ireland. It was stolen by birdmen from Agsmead and carried off to Magpag. With the crown, the Archmage will be unstoppably powerful. There is no chance for sending an army against him. A military force would not survive the journeys. So here you are, the lone adventurer, walking the long path to Magpag alone. 5 minutes later, you reach a fork of the road. The sergeant, for all of his eyesight, hadn't mentioned this. The road splits at the base of a gigantic tree, but does not rejoin the other side. The left winds down into a village, and the right slopes up into a thick forest of hills. It's hard to see much up the hill. The forest is sudden and thick, and the path narrows. It may be hard going that direction, but the hills will involve a lot of climbing. Eventually, you may get a decent view of the next leg from the top of the ridge. You pause to consider the lower route. There's a river there, and the path follows the left bank. It is a safer route, secluded and protected, but the curve of the landscape would mean you were almost backtracking. You're about to make your choice when you hear a faint cry from somewhere close at hand. A call for help there out here, and that's definitely a trap to travelers to their doom. You must move on. Light is already fading. Okay, so we can go up this way through the trees, or we can go this way and hit another village. Which one do you guys think we should do? I almost think we should do the forest. Well, that might be more secluded. That also means then it's easier for ambush, I think, maybe. Yeah, I think we should do the forest. And again, I have the high ground. The high route seems the most secure. In a valley, you can easily observe from above and led astray. Gather an army of troll and pillage the other village. I don't think it's that kind of adventure, Stephen. But out in the hills, you can go whichever way you choose. Of course, when night falls, it may be cold and exposed on the slopes. But no matter, the journey was never designed to be easy. You begin the climb, letting the cries of the trees fade away quickly. The path winds upwards into the hills, into cover. The afternoon sun glints through the trees and plays tricks on your eyes. Every so often you catch a glimpse of some strange shaped animal or other watching you, only to find that it's a silhouette of branches and leaves caught at an odd angle. After an hour's walk, you are starting to feel slightly hungry, but you might be wise to save your rations. We're 8 today, so that's fine. We'll keep walking. You keep up your pace, the climb continues, and the path twisting this way and that. The air grows cold and the sun flickers on the horizon, then sets, making it hard to see your way. But the moon is full. When twilight is done, it will be bright once more. So we can keep walking, or we can make camp. I feel like we should just keep walking. Oh, our spirit guide is no longer the panther. We're now being followed by the jaguar. Or by the jackal. The journey ahead of you is long and time is short, so waste hours at this early stage would be disastrous. And sleeping out in the open, you would be at the mercy of the beast. Reusing that to sleep on the hard ground would almost be as tiring as to walk. You walk. You will suffer it for physically, of course. The stars come out one by one above you, writing out the names of the spirits, including your own, the jackal. You continue on your weary way. As you walk, you think of the crown. It calls you onwards already, even though you have never seen it. It is as if it knows your name and is waiting for you, deep in the fortress of Malpog. But it does summon you to rescue it and restore the balance power to the Alliance, or does it summon you to your death and destruction? To place a seal on the power of the Archmage. The second day of your journey begins in a cool morning. You feel the presence of your spirit, the jackal, close by. Its form has changed since you left Ardalan, just as you have changed, but it is still pacing beside you. The temple they taught you to say that prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, and even save you from certain death. But the spirits are not generous and decline to help often. You can ask for the spirit's aid using the prayer button. Okay, I think it's just telling us about that thing. You can feel yourself getting accustomed to the air of these hills. You have now ascended several hundred feet and can expect to make excellent progress before the end of the day. As you crest the brow of the hill, you see something that makes you stop in your tracks. To your left is a clearing, and in those clearings are several poles planted firmly in the ground. Top of each pole is a head. Let's look at the heads. Heads are of all kinds and ages. Some are recently fixed, while others have decayed, and some are nothing but skulls and hairs. They are human heads, goblin heads, and one or two of the heads of creatures you don't recognize. All of them have sewn up eyes and mouths. A large X painted on nearby rocks is obviously intended as a warning not to venture any further, but ahead the road forks left and right. You cannot make sure which path you are warned not to take. The right continues to climb, the left winds down the side of the hill. Well, there's a village to our left. So we could go pillage. Otherwise, there's a mine. Oh, another thing for this I know about like this book in general is watch out for circles. Circles are horrible, apparently. I think we should take the left path. Make your way down a steep wooden slope, and after half an hour, you hear the gurgling of the stream, and then quite suddenly you emerge from the trees to the edge of the fast-flowing river. Foraging would be impossible, but luckily someone has built a bridge. The bridge is made of two stout ropes with thinner strings hanging from them. The boards tied to the string. You test the ropes and notice that the left ones feel weak, but doesn't mean the bridge is necessarily a trap, although it might be. But it doesn't mean that if the bridge collapses, the left side will fall away first. Should we risk it? Yeah, let's risk it. You begin to make your way carefully across, but the halfway mark, the boards begin to creak and become loose. Then one by one, the ropes holding the bridge up unlashes themselves completely, and you're plunging into the water. You make a break for the far bank, pounding against the boards as they tumble and plunge into rapid water. At the last minute, the bridge dissolves and you must jump. Left? Oh no, I was supposed to jump right. Left was the side that was breaking apart. You leap left and manage to clear the bridge before it tumbles into the river. The boards and the rope wash away by the torrent. You are a little scratched and bruised, but nothing serious. Still, there is no turning back. You get to your feet. Something moves in the bushes nearby. Ignore it. Nothing, just a rabbit, surely. Rubbing your bruises, you start walking again. Well, let's keep going. As you ascend to pass a clearing, a safe process. Let's eat some of our ration for the day. You settle down, open your backpack, and get a quantity of your cheese and bread. The clearing makes a good spot because you can see everything approaching, and then sure enough, a flock of wood gulls fly up into the air nearby. Before the birds can snatch any of your precious food away, you pack up and return to the bath. And we've ate our food for the day, so we're good there. You continue on the path. The undergrowth gets thicker with death shrubs snag at your legs as you pass. Suddenly there's a crackling sound beneath your feet. Branches or something else. Jump. You jump just in time as a pitfall caves in beneath you. You look back to see a gaping hole which you would have fallen into. You keep moving when your foot hits something. There is the gentlest of clicks. Jump, duck, or step back. I feel like it's gonna be like a... Oh, should not have come this way. Should not have come this way at all. This was a trap. Yeah, I think we need a duck. You drop to your knees as 3 saplings snap upright in front of you. Each one is fitted with sharpened stakes. You have but a moment to see they are red with dried blood before a middle spike connects directly with your neck. Your head will soon join the others on the posts you have just left. You've just passed. Your head will be... Oh no. Rip. Rip. We've died. Alright. Back to here, I think. Okay. Okay. So, I think... we can either go this way. I think this is where the guy who... I think that's what the heads were supposed to be, was don't go that way is certain death. So if we go this way, we avoid it. So head towards the line. The climb continues up the next hill for several hours until you are far from the top. Then the faint sound of brushly activity reaches you. Trampling feet, grunting voices, and the clacking of metal against rock. There's something ahead, hidden by ancient trees that line the slopes. Keep to the path. Keep walking. Whatever's happening behind the tree line is best left to itself. Soon the path crests. Night, Steven. Soon the path crests the hills and begins to lead down hills. Alright. By a bridge. You follow the path that leads sharply downhill into a narrow valley in which a stream runs. There is no path along the bank, but there is a bridge. Let's inspect it. They seem sturdy. If it is a trap, it is not one that will dump you into the stream, but you can always struggle through the vegetation on the bank and try to find a footing point. Foraging point. Let's just take a look. Indeed, it seems like an intelligent thing to do. The bridge seems too good to be true. Who would go to the trouble of building it out here if it's not a trap for unwitty travelers? You fight your way forward along the bank, cutting through thick vegetation that flourishes here besides the water. You are cut by a thorn and twist your ankle in the root, but you do make progress. Eventually, you find a line of rocks that will be able to act as stepping stones. Yes, the first stone, it seems firm. Halfway over, you notice something glistening in the water by your feet. Pick it up. Balance it carefully, you reach down and pick it up. There's a locket containing a small portrait of a woman. Someone must have dropped it in the river, and it's floating down this far became caught in the rocks. Keep it. You slip it in your bag and finish making your way across the river to the other side. The bank is clear here, so it takes only a minute to reach the other side of the bridge once more. The path and you continue walking. You are now have a long walk ahead of you along the ridge and through the light covering the trees. Oh, we haven't ate yet. Okay. Ooh. The path climbs uphill, again up a low hill, covered by thick bushes and shrubs that snag at your clothing. Halfway up, you hear a sound. Twigs breaking. You freeze as a large creature the size of a bear emerges directly in front of you. It has black and white fur and a long bushy tail that trails out behind it. It growls menacingly. You will not be able to avoid confrontation. The creature is a sulk bear, and when it raises its tails, it releases a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around it is terrible. What spells do we have to use right now? Cause sleepiness, we need something for that. I can try to control it. I don't know if it's unintelligent though. What are my other options? No, it just makes more versions of me. We could cause depression again. I kind of want to see if we can control it. You cast a spell and hold your hands in the air. You command the creature to say where it is. It is not happy but bellows and snarls at you, but does not move. And you are able to step easily around it. The path leads down to another valley and back up another hill. 2 hours pass. The sun is now just past its zenith, and everywhere a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You are worn out, almost to the point of physical collapse. You need food and rest, and no trouble. Today has been too punishing already. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. Another night of walking will leave you exhausted. Then you see a small village set into a hill. Smoke rises from the stacks. The houses are well set, with stones at their bases and thatched roofs of grasses and thick leaves. There is unusually more than just one street running through the center of the town, but it is as though this place, once rich, has had its heart swooped away. Littered surrounds the buildings, and the edge of the village are rows and rows of empty, abandoned houses. Let's enter the village. You walk to the village. Small hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. You keep your hand on your sword hilt to give your reply. Their attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but piled up on top of their heads. They are ghastly poor. The village is like a ghost town here on the nice edge of the backlands. Let's go rest at the inn. It's just small enough that you find an inn supply by walking around. The woman who runs the place stands by the doorway with her arms folded. Are you from the king? She demands. No, I'm a mere traveler. The woman narrows her eyes at you. This is a guest house, the best in Crestani. Only guests stay, and any guest of mine knows the cost is 3 gold pieces to host travelers overnight and 2 to feed them. It's all between friends. Need to eat food first. The food is being served. The woman steps aside and allows you to go inside and sit down. A few minutes later, her husband appears with a steaming pot of sulkbear stew. As you eat, you can't help but remember the terrible smelling beast dead in the bath. And that thought makes you gag. But you wolf it down all the same and leave your coins on the table. Do you want a room as well? Yes, we have gold. Shows you your way upstairs to the room. There is 3 other guests already staying and asleep. So you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but it's comfortable, and after a long day and all its narrow escapes, you're grateful beyond measure for the rest. Our dreams are vivid once again. You are walking endlessly, the hills moving up and down under your feet like rippling seas. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forward. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides towards you, reeds in foul-smelling smoke. In the distance, a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the middle frame of the crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Lovely dream. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no hurry to leave the village. There is it's now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles of your leg are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set along the path. Crestani is surrounded by several miles of fields, a filthy town set in a bowl of mud. As you follow the path between the lines of sun-baked crops, you come to the fork in the road. The right hand leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left leads you directly into the deep woodland area. Alright, so if we go up, we're going to go around a... Okay, the woods would be the quicker option. Looks like there's ruins or something up. There's like a hut or a cabin or something in the woods. And either way, we're going to hit Dumpus. I think we're gonna take the let's do the woods. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is furious, and then you are between the trees once more. Everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over the path. You pick your way carefully, moving slowly but quietly, silently between the trees. If there are beasts nearby, you should be able to wrinkle their necks without hearing their approach. You continue until you reach a fork deep in the woods. Okay. Someone made a sign, perhaps as a guide or perhaps as a warning. On the right is marked Dumpus, and the other points to Alana. Neither way seems better trod. Okay, so we can see what Alana is. If it's bad, we can always rewind. Another just takes us to the next village. I kind of want to see what this is. The path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here, although you cannot hear the water. About half an hour's walk through the dampened shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the doors have been painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Scout around it. You perform a swift circuit around the circuit and find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems like to be what it is, a hut set by itself deep in the woods. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by beasts of the jungle, they must be quite powerful. You approach the door and there's no answer. Oh, we're gonna go in. Let's just find out. The hut is neatly laid out. You detect the touch of a vivacious woman. Chairs are set around the table as if for guests. A mattress lies in one corner and a large kitchen indicates whoever lives here is fond of cooking. Hello, is anyone there? To your surprise, a voice answer. Who's there? Who's that? Looking in the corner, hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Good stranger, let me out of this cage, I beg you. You move over to the cage. What happened to you? Oh, good stranger, she wails. I've been locked up here for 2 days. It was Elvis that did it. Those mischievous prankster Elvins. Please, you must help me. I have not eaten. They've left me here where I can see all my cooking things, but I cannot reach them. I'll help you. Going over to the cage, you try the door. It's locked for sure. Let's just try to break the lock. Placing the tip up against the thing, you attempt to pry it open. The lock is hard and rusted, and your first attempt to force it fails. Succeeding only will permanently damage the edge of the thing. Okay. Let's try magic. Causes soreness, that's not gonna help me. Stop. Opens locks and doors. You cast a spell over the lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks. If I tried doing pry, it would have just broken my sword, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need that. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks. The tumblers turn and work. Then finally it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and the door bangs open. She rushes out and throws her arms around you before backing a pace and trying to regain her composure. Stranger, I am in your debt, and Elena will reward you. Will you aid me in combat or mastery? Will you take an aid in combat or mastery of magic? Alright, should we go with magic or combat? We are now being followed by the fox. Magic? Yeah, I'm thinking magic too. We've been using magic more. Magic, very well. She rushes over to the wall and opens a panel you have not seen before and takes out a small box, which she places in your hand with a smile. No trick, she says with a smile. All these things will aid you if you know what they are meant to be used for. You flip open the box. It contains a small vial of glue, a strange-looking nose plugs, and more small pebbles. You pocket them and give back the empty box. The lady has been feared. It seems there is nothing much more to keep you here and from your quest. Ask if I may eat. I may eat my own food here? She nods, and you settle down at the table and quickly devour the quantity of your cheese and bread. She watches you with simple pleasure, and finally you stand. I must be on my way, you tell her. I have many more miles to cover today. She nods. Of course. Please, before you go. She holds out something. It's a small bag of gold coins. You bow your head and accept the gift. There are 7 gold coins inside. And one more thing, she says. Moving around the table, she leans over to you and pecks you on the cheek, whispering, I am Annalena the witch, and I've killed a good many men with my sorcery, but I do choose not to kill you today. Go in peace. She then steps back, and her face is soft and peaceful as ever. Did you imagine her words? Most certainly not. Time then to leave. You quickly step outside, retracing your steps to the last junction where you take the path to Tempest. We could have so easily died there. We're just like, oh, sure, we'll help you. Let's be nice. Let's be kind. Oh, we got magic stuff out of it. You walk for several hours, following the twists and turns of the path of the trees. Then suddenly you stop. You hear a noise ahead. Something is moving between the rocks at the edge of the path. You hang back, watching the trees. There's definitely something moving around, something large and long with the tail that whips between the trees. But now that you've seen it, you're at a definite advantage. The beast is off the path to the right, so you creep through the tree line on the left, while on the left you may escape unnoticed. You try this tactic, moving slowly and carefully, making as little noise as possible, pacing your feet with delicate care. After a few more yards, you're about to rejoin the path when a movement of the animal stops. It must have heard you or caught your scent. And sure enough, a moment later, it is upon you. In the flurry of the foliage and dirt, a rat bear leaps from the undergrowth. It is much closer than you thought. Its sleek black fur allows it to hide in the shadows until it is almost upon you. Okay. We will attack. The rat bear is startled by your approach, but drops quickly to its force. You thrust your sword out in front of you, hoping the creature will run itself through, but the rat bear is not risking a full attack. It stops and lashes with the curved clawed paw and hooked nails. Its fur is thick with blood and scratches, to which you have added a few of your own. It squeaks and snuffles, standing up onto its hind legs. Oh, God. We already this one. We're losing too much. Yeah, we're about to die. We're gonna try again. You move to sifts around you. Okay, it goes for full out attack. I can take this one as a defense. This one I need to defend against. No, I want to defend here. Thrust. I use this one to regain. No, we're gonna take that one. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, then emerges onto a sudden plain, as if the forest has been swooped up by gigantic hands. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and then it banks, stands by a small village. Okay, so we can go to the village. We've already ate today, so we don't need to do that, but we can maybe buy some more rations. We don't need to eat. Let's explore the town a little. Across some merchant huts, there are things being sold. Finely crafted sword, small bag of provisions. Yes. Alright, we got some rations. Try it on. Put it back. I don't think we need anything for that. Alright. So I can sleep. Points down the road. That goes to the inn. Okay. Talk to villagers. Pass along the main path through the village and pause outside a hut in several of the hill dwellers are sitting and eating. Seems deep in session about something. Several are shaking their fists in the air. You step inside they stop talking immediately and get up to bow your head. You nod your head once to the man who returns the gesture. The other calls something out in their native tongue and points at your side to where your sword hangs out over the hem of your thing. In broken common tongue, the first man croaks, "No weapons." It indicates a table by the door where you can leave the blade. Shake my head and leave. You nod once more and turn and leave the hut and walk outwards to the town. Okay, let's just stop at the inn then. We will rest. We're now followed by the monkey. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Your thoughts are dominated by a strange woman in the hut. In your mind, she has become younger than she truly was. Flowers seem to blossom from her hair as though she was grown from the earth herself. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. The birdman has come for the crown. Perhaps before the journey is finished, they will come for you. Off we go. You rise early, dismiss the attention of the innkeepers, and head out onto the street. Within a few minutes, you are out of Dumpus, back on the roads. After another hour or so, the way branches. One path leads uphill, and the other turns downhill along a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you make at the top of the hill? It seems like a lonely place for it. Okay, so if we go uphill. Seems odd. There's an abandoned mine to the left. We don't really need to go to a village, so let's just go downhill. You follow the meandering path around the side of the hill for the most of the morning. It's difficult to see the way around the tree line, but you can't see any other alternative. So you keep going. Eventually, the path bursts out onto a narrow stone ledge high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There is no way forwards. Looking left, you see a narrow ledge is formed by a splitting of the rock that leads all the way down a misty valley floor. There's a path up the other side. It's not clear from here. Looking right, you are taken back, as out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view. As if it is only now fallen into place, it is made of planks and thick rope and is suspended from this peak to the peak on the other side. Who could have built such a marvel, and how long ago? You take a moment staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look at it, the more it seems too perfect. Bye, Katie. The more you look at it, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist, or is it mere illusion to trick incautious traveler? In your feet, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip and it'll be a long way down. I feel like let's go to the valley. The bridge seems too big to be true. The bridge seems untrustworthy. Should anything happen while you're halfway across it, there'd be no escape but the last, most final kind. Better to walk. You make your way along the stone ledge. The angle is steep and it's hard going, not to supple. At the valley floor is a dried up river covered in worn stones, home by water that is now long gone. Small caves open in the rock face nearby, with rusted machinery abandoned outside. There was mining here once, but it must have been a long time ago. A wider track made for carts carrying ore leads up a far slope. Recover your breath and look around. Let's look at the riverbed. Nothing but stones. You should take some. Don't know why I took rocks. We just have rocks now. Your breath is short and your heart is hammering as you pause halfway up this valley slope. A small wooden hut is opposite, set a little way back from the path. Let's avoid the hut this time. You can tell on the path, walking quickly and in hope that whatever is inside will not see you. Just opposite of that is a line of bushes. You walk fast and confidently and are quickly beyond the eye line of the doorway. Something was inside. There's a glimpse of a brooding shadow within, but you will be better off not knowing. Hours pass as you finish the climb. With the sun starting to hang heavy in the sky, you reach the top and meet with the other end of the rope bridge. Let's just keep walking. Head for the town. We're now followed by an ape. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest and sit on a boulder to survey what lies behind. The path leads downwards, and at its foot, cradle of 3 peaks is a village. A quite large one at that. Behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the village. It'll be night soon. The village seems like a good spot you hop down from the boulder and make your way forward. When an overhanging branch touches your face and you hear lively chippering. You quickly turn around. Hovering by your shoulder is a small creature the size of a bird. It is childlike but very thin with green skin and flits around you with transparent wings. It seems friendly enough and even lands on your shoulder. It is tiny clawed feet pinching slightly. Greetings, little creature, and hello to you. The creature replies, my name is Jan. What do you want with me? See that village? The creature replies. Last time I tried to go through, they told me I wasn't welcome, so I went mine some protection. What are you? The creature does a backflip and gives a low bow. I am a Minamite. Pleased to meet you. It reaches out a teeny hand and shakes your earlobe. The creature starts hopping up and down. Come on, it grumbles impatiently. Let's get going, can't we? What can you tell me about the village? You point down the valley. Is it safe? This is Biratani. It's very safe. The largest village in this whole side of this Shamutani Hills. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least one night there. It's a little bit expensive, especially for Minimites, but pleasant enough. Well, let's get going then. The creature shakes you by the ear in excitement, and you set off along the path once more. You descend into the bowl of the valley. The hills on either side are towering tall, and throw the village into deep shadow. It seems a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come a distant sound of laughter and merriment. You continue along the path. The sounds of the festivities grow louder. It's almost spooky. Here, the sight of the valley, and after so long on a dire road, the people of the village seem to be enjoying themselves. See, the Minimite on your shoulder remarks, I told you it was a happy place. What's going on? Are they bewitched? Jan shakes her head. No. If there's magic, believe me, I would know. This is the Festival of the Young. What's that? Well, take a look. Jan waves a little hand towards the village. The idea is that once a year, the children are allowed the freedom of the village. It is a time of great fun and lots of pranks. It becomes quickly obvious what he means. You pass through buildings where you find a number of children sitting in the street drinking ales from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys fighting outside a hut with the sign that reads Galdragnor's Tavern. It is complete mayhem. You stride over to the boy, intending to rescue the woman, but at the sight of your manner and the sword, the boy drops her down and puts her on her feet. And what are you about? He demands. I am the leader of this village for today, and I say, get to bed. You laugh at the boy. He's clearly enraged, and lets up a hollering cry. Suddenly there are hundreds of children around you, and not all beggars, but well-fed, armed with sticks and pitchforks. Jan is making a hissing noise in your ear. You better run for it. Why would I hit the child? He's just having fun. It's they're once a year. They get to do whatever they want. We'll let them have their fun. Swallowing your pride, you turn and race out of the village. The children follow, standing at the gates, waving their impromptu weapons. Well, you're quite the warrior, aren't you? Not gonna hurt the children. Let's just sleep outside. You make your way out the village and stand into a stand of tall grass trees under the overhang of one of the cruel mountainsides. Between curling roots, you find a small place to settle down. Jan perches a little way above on the knot and is quietly asleep. You're tired enough to fall asleep, but you are hungry from not eating. Let's eat something real quick. You pull out some provision and eat quickly. The night darkness draws in all around you. In the distance, you hear screams and whoops from the village that only slowly fades. You feel lonely, distance from such revelry. You rest your head on your backpack and close your eyes. A few hours pass when you wake suddenly, aware of a shadow moving between the tree trunks. It turns as it sniffs the air. A wolfhound. Cast a spell. What was it? Stop? No. Law controlled the creatures. You cast the spell, but strangely nothing happens. Oh. The wolfhound wheels around. You must defend yourself against him. Okay. Defend. Wolfhound creeps on you, draws. You raise your sword to defend yourself. Fearing the illustrating, it bounds forward. You're shaken and unharmed. It howls and whimpers. Hoping to finish the piece, and he drops back. Cut. No. Defend. Defend. Thrust. Cut. I lost. We're gonna die. We're gonna die! Just kidding. Okay. Defend. Well, I could have done a full charge. Okay, so first one, it's... we just do a full-on attack. We defend here to regain. Then you just cut it. Decent dueling. We'll take it. We'll take it. Alright, feast defeating, pause and regain your breath. Leave your blade. Then, once satisfied, you lay down again and try to sleep. Jan flitters down and resettles on your shoulder. Your dreams are filled with walking, with peaks and valleys and endless paths. Curious light plays across them, building walls to the heights before ruining them as it moves away. The rest of the night passes silently. Beyond Brittany. You rise early from your spot on the trees. As you your thing, Jan leaps up and onto your shoulder. Ready to go? He chirps. You rejoin the path on the far side of Brittany. The sun sits on the horizon like a glimmering jewel. If all goes well, you can reach Torpani today, the last village in the Shantani Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, leading uphill to the left and downhill to the right. Next. Which way, Jan? To the right is the forest. To the left is the going is easier. The path heads towards a field of black flowers to Terpani. What else do you know? You advance suspiciously. Nothing, the creature protests. And that's a fine way to talk to your guide. I'm not charging you for my advice, you know. You'll get no more from the creature. With Terpani so close, it hardly matters which way you go, surely. Should we trust our guide? Let's trust our guide. If you go left, you decide. Good choice, Jan replies. The slope gently downhills through shrubbery forest and along the path of the dry, weary earth. The Champagne hills are relatively vibrant compared to the backlands beyond the Jabrab River. You can see the influence of what desolation already creeping into the soil like a spreading infestation. And then you crest as rise, a powerful, pleasant smell reaches your nostrils, and you see off there the beautiful black flowers. Jan, what are those flowers? Who knows? Who cares? Chirps the Minamite, dancing about your shoulder impatiently. This is the shortest path to Trapani. Do you want to go there or not? I don't trust the flowers. Like, I really don't trust the flowers. I feel like the flowers are a terrible idea. Like, I'm going to die if I go near those flowers. Or, like, go into a sleep. Like, this is what the Minimite wants. There's something about the flowers that makes you uneasy. We're Going the other way, you tell Jan, turning back and heading downhill once more. The Mimic complains but does not leave your shoulders. You climb a rise, the way's not too steep. As noon approaches, you have crested the ridge and are descending yet again. You are now at the highest point of the hills, where the trees are thin and the view west goes on forever. Sometimes you catch glimpses of Care on the northern horizon. Let's keep going. You sign out to eat, push on. Janet's in a talkative mood and fills the air around with his chatter about what he can see, about how things smell, and what he plans to do once he makes it his fortune in Care. You pass from the open hillside into the patch of the dark forest when suddenly Janet falls quiet and hisses in your ear, "Stop, stop, now." Why? Because, the creature insists with a teeny voice, something is following us. You come to a dead stop. Janet is right. Something is moving through the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel emerges from the darkness between two trees and touches your neck. "You've seen me." A voice whispers a voice. "I know it." "I see nothing," you call back. "You are quite safe." "It is not I who is not safe," the voice returns. "Who's there?" There is no reply, but a tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you had not seen him a moment before, even though he had been standing a mere arm's length away. He wields a sharp spear in his expert hands. Depression. Depression. Depression's not an option. Okay, I don't have what I need for that. I can do lightning. I can create a shield, but it'll cost money. I don't feel like a shield is the option. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do the force field. That was fix, right? No, that was... What was that one? Walk? The assassin bows to you and taps 2 fingers against his chest and raises his stand. You drop into a defensive crouch immediately. The assassin is perhaps the most fearful opponent you have encountered so far. He covers himself well. He spins his sword about to shift the sword across his body. Time to attack. You rush forward with deep, heavy slash, but the blow you land is only minor because the assassin has adjusted his stance swiftly. You knock the assassin staggering into a tree. He seems more impressed than hurt. Closing his eye, he murmurs a quick prayer as he sets his stance. You drop onto a crouch and he powers forward. It only tires him out and you are mostly unharmed. Acting quickly, you swing with a masterful swipe, but the impact clangs against his turned sword. He grins. Breathing deeply, the assassin whispers his mantra as he readies his blade. You equip your defenses as he attempts a strong blow. Stroke. You parry the best you can. The assassin laughs appreciatively. He swivels his grip and the weapon sings as he moves. You hold firm on your defense. His light blow sails over your head. moving with the deadly speed of a attacking serpent. You are mostly unharmed. He nods to you wisely. Leaping after you dive forward with a deep, heavy blow, but the blow jumps back off the hilt of his blade. He grimaces with effort. He is left breathless, but otherwise unharmed. My duty is to sever your head from your neck, the assassin tells you in a voice as cold as polished marble. You will not hold it from me. You ready yourself for a blow as he tries to slice deep, but you roll out of the way, mostly unhurt. He raises one hand and draws a finger to the line across his throat. Fleeting left, you sweep a masterful slash, but the impact clangs against his weapon. He smells. Blood drips from the assassin's tunic. He curses under his breath. You will die out here, the assassin declares, his tone like ice. You duck into a low crouch as he attempts a heavy cut, but you duck mostly unharmed. You are weakening. The fight is becoming serious. Time to attack. You charge forward with a deep, heavy swipe, but the blow blows back off the raised weapon. He grins. Breathing deeply, the assassin mouths a quick prayer. Left myself open. In the next moment, he sees you on the flash. Your swipe upward is overpowered. His own swipe is devastating in his side. You are without strength. That's gonna kill us. Okay. Defend. Don't do full power. That'll make him lose more. I should have defended on that one. We're gonna do it again. I think I understand like what he wants. Okay, thrust. Because that gets him off. Do one quick heal there. A full one. Defend. Another full one. Defend against that. Leaping into action, you dive forward with a heavy blow. I am not so proud as to not admit when I'm defeated. You may finish me if you choose, but if you do, you do me an honor and use my own blade. With a single blow, you finish off the assassin. He dies with his lips pursed in a silent prayer, not cursing you, but commanding his own soul to a better place. You rifle his body for a measly 3 gold pieces and continue on your path. Out of the woods and into the dusty hillside, Jan, for a brief while, says nothing. Perhaps he is shocked, but the blissful silence doesn't last for long. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today? The Mennonite on your shoulder asked. I am tired and hungry, and we have gone such a long way. Not much further. The Mennonite sighs and slumps onto your shoulder. You continue on the path around the side of the hill. The wooden hut is set into the slope with an old woman sitting on the front porch. Rivers seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house. The house itself is set on splayed stumps like insects straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. Greetings, you call out. The woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? I can barely see you. You approach the woman. She smiles with a toothless smile and gets up from her stand. Come in, please. I get so lonely here on my own away from the villages. You shake your head. I should not stay long. I have a long journey still to make. Of course, of course. I have some tea out here on the steps. She sounds almost nervous. Scurrying into her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it, Jan whispers in her mouth. I do not trust this one. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands as you talk. What is your name? They call me Geza Moon. She replies with a smile. I used to be quite well known in my way. You nod. It's the witch from Hansel and Gretel. It very well could be. But you never heard of her. Why do you live alone? It must be dangerous. Oh, she smiles sweetly. No one bothers about me. Why would they? You can't help but notice she has not answered the question. This is a beautiful place, you remark. The water plunging off over the cliff face is on top of the crystal waterfall. The water runs right under my house. They say it carries all my goodness and youth away while I sleep, and the villagers bathe in it for luck. She giggles meaningly. I'm sure it isn't quite true. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lip. Oh, I've forgotten the pot. She goes in the kitchen and fetches it. There's something very wrong here. While the woman's back is turned, you try to slip away, but she hears your footsteps and calls out, "Come back here, please, come back." You keep walking. The old woman begins to scream incoherently. Little Jan is now shaking. Suddenly there's a crackling sound to your left. You wheel around to see a colossal tree swaying, its trunk split, leaning. If I dodge left, I dodge into the tree. If I dodge right, I get out of the way. If I stand still, I'm in the path. Hi, Halo. There's that force field one. We can try that spell. Rip. Okay, stay outside. Make conversation. I'm just gonna repeat everything. Maybe just switch the cups with her. Nope. She poisoned both. You wince and cough as you find yourself seizing up. Oh, suspicious stranger, she says. I can count on travelers respecting my witchcraft. Please release me. You try to shout out, but you're paralyzed, quite powerless. The woman begins to search through your bag. Jan flits about in distress, unsure what to do. She's stolen all my magic stuff. No, we are not losing our magic stuff. Okay. Outside. We can do this. Make conversation. We don't drink the tea. Beautiful place. Make a run for it. Dodge right. The tree falls exactly where you have been standing. Picking yourself up, you find the old woman standing in front of you. You go wrong to ignore the invitation of Geza Moon, she declares, pointing a crooked finger at you. Her fingers are crackling with magic. Dodge right. We've been evaporated. You know what? Let's just go a little bit further back. just beyond the trees. Not much further. Try creep past. Keep walking. Okay. We avoided the witch this time. You keep walking, the old woman begins screaming incoherently. Oh, god dang it. Dodge right. Alright, let's cast a spell. Maybe this time force field? No, let's just go back to here. We can stop here. Oh, no, we can't. Okay, we can't stop here because we have to... This is just constantly... We have to get out of here. Okay, dodge right. Different spell. Different spell. We can create glue. I haven't tried that yet. We don't have teleportation. US. Sense danger. I'm pretty sure we're already in danger. That's not gonna do us any good. And force field didn't do us any good. Do I have any other options? How? Find safe passage. No. Okay. Beyond the trees. Be quiet. No, the woman always sees us. That's why I'm wondering if we should just go back to the flowers. I think we just always die here. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to the flowers. So no assassin. Okay. Alright, go on through the field. The smell of their blossoms gets sweeter as you pass. It makes you feel giddy and lightheaded. You start to skip and jump with merriment, and Jan is likewise full of glee. Your head is swimming. Use my nose plugs. Thinking quickly, you shove your nose in your nose plugs. They fit very well. The smell of the flowers disappears completely. The field is wide and thick with flowers and beautiful enough in a somber way. Then halfway in, your foot crunches on something. Jan on your shoulder giggles at the sound and begins to pull at your earlobe. You bat him away. You look down. There is a bone under your foot, a human arm bone, and next to it a skeleton. The skull has flowers between its jaw. Something is very wrong here. You keep going. The far side is in sight. Jan begins to totter. He slips from your shoulder, catches him and flies back up, then slips again. What's the matter with you? Nothing, the creature replies, spinning through the air in a blur of fluttering wings. I've never been so happy. Then he plunges in between the flower blossoms and is gone from sight. You pause and root through the flowers, and in doing so, oh no. Leave. Go. Run. They are dead flowers. Okay. Ask Jane about it. Let's see. Good luck with that. Clear your mind. Ignore the smell of this thing. Okay. How do we get it so we don't lose our guide? Cast. Sense danger. You have a smell. Nothing happens. Very sorry to tell you, there's no point in magic while around here. I'm afraid minimites and magic don't work. That's why my force fields weren't working earlier. The minimite destroyed my magic. Okay. Well, use the nose plugs. Walk on through the field. I did like the idea of looking at that. Leave him. Sorry, buddy. We gotta go. It is now late afternoon. You pass over a low brow of the next hill, and below you is a village of Turpani. Slung from one side of the valley to the next is a flood barrier. Observe it. He did. He did. I left him for dead. I left our friend. He'd be very dead. He also got rid of all of my magic, so you know. I would have always failed to get around the witch because of him. So screw him. We're leaving him for dead in the dead flowers. You enter the village. There's a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svins are going about their business slowly and miserably. You pay no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump at the very center of the village to consider your options. Let's find a village to rest. There are 3 inns in the village, but 2 are closed down. Their windows are boarded and their thatched roofs rotting through. The 3rd looks a little better, and at least its door is open. And the smell of well-cooked food drifts out. From a sign by the doorway, it seems food costs 3 gold and a bed for the night costs 5. We have enough for that. Room and board. You count on 8 pieces, room and a meal. You reply, I've come a long way. Sven nods twice, takes your payment. Hot meal is a hot rat broth. Yuck. And if that's not good for you, you can lower your hopes. The room upstairs, I'll bring your food to you. She jerks a fingernail up towards the stairs. You go up, unstrap your pack, and loosen your boots while you wait. You're free! Yay! Picking the last option? I'm not allowed to pick the last option. I haven't even read it. Upstairs, I'll bring you food. She jerks the very up there. You go up on track path. Meal comes and is nourishing, and you bolt it down. Then you stretch back on the bed. The night closes in, and the room has no candles. Then you hear footsteps on the staircase outside. Let's take position by the doorway. You move quickly out of bed and take a position behind the doorway, a sword at the ready. Footsteps after footstep approaches. Yay, no school till the December 3rd. Nice, B! Semester's over. No more headache for a little bit, at least. There are foot approaches. There are quite a few of them, and by the sound, they're big. The door begins to open. Wait a moment longer. You wait a moment longer, your breath short and shallow, hoping that they will not notice that you are waiting. The first Fen enters the room, followed by another, then a third and a fourth, then a fifth and a sixth. Before you can move, you're overpowered. The creatures grabbing you by the ankles and arms until you are hoisted up. They carry you bodily out of the door, down the stairs, bumping and bruising, past the crackling landlady who shrieks, "That's the one I knew when I saw her," and out onto the cold street. What is happening? No, that's the first option I did. Oh. Of that one. Oh. Ape? Ape, can you help me? I now fall by the monkey. In a whisper, you begin a prayer to your spirit. The monkey for guide. Nothing happens immediately. You reach a low hut and are thrown to the earth. Do you want me to do it again and not do any of the last options? Just no last options for the next, like, however long? You did do that. Oh, we'll go back. We'll go back. We'll go back. Oh, there. I went too far. Hold on, let me get back to where we were. No, I go back. We do this. We do all the same things. I just don't do any of the last options. You're on board. Okay. I still want to do take position by the doorway. Alright, we're leaping to attack. You leap out from the hiding as the first Sven bursts into the room and knock him backwards, but the second and third are quickly on you, and then a fourth and a fifth. The team room is swarming with creatures and grabbing arms. Quickly they have you by the arms and legs and are carrying you out bodily out the door, down the staircase, past the crackling line. That's the one I knew when I saw her, and out into the cold street. Where are you taking me? The Svens carrying you give no reply. Then you reach a low hut at the edge of the village and are set down carefully. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later it reopens and your possessions are thrown inside. You pull your knees up to your chest and wait. The long watches of the night slowly pass, and in the end, nothing happens and no one comes. Daybreak, you're alone. An hour passes before you hear a noise outside. Then the hut opens and 5 Svens come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. "My name is Percy's chief," he taps his chest. "I apologize," and he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. "Tell me what you want." He holds up a hand. First, he waves to the maniacal who brings in bread and milk. I can't do last option, so we'll eat it. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poison and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. I have need of you and your strength. "I will help if I can." The chief bows. "I am grateful. My daughter, my child, she's taken, offered to a terrible demon below. You want me to rescue her?" The chief nods. "Succeed and you will choose your reward. Fail and," he shrugs. "Cat, am I allowed to help or am I not allowed to help?" There's only 2 options. You can click it now, okay. Let's help. Let's save the daughter from the demon. I'll do it. The chief nods. "I hope you will." He gestures to the other Svens who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. You're led along a short path way through the forest to a crack in the earth. One of those fences has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down to the pit of the earth itself. You will pay me richly for this. This fence none. The chief replies, we are poor, but we will try. Good. Watch the darkness, he declares, as they start to lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all direction. You are blind, helpless, trapped. Something skitters to your feet from above. That's not the word. One of the Svens shouts something down to you. You crouch down and feel around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It's a dry wood torch. Something else flies from above and strikes you in the head. Tinderbox, calls the voice. Feel around for the tinderbox. You reach down and find the tinderbox. Light the torch. You strike the light and torch blazes into flame. Below. You can now see that you're in a large tavern, wide and deep. At the far end, passages disappear to your left and right. Through the uneven rockfall at the far end of the tavern, you hear a murmur. You clamber over the rocks by the edge of the tavern to investigate the sound. It is whispering, coming from the other side of the pile of stones. The Sven girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then a cave-in blocks off her path. You will have to find another way to reach her. You go left, creep slowly into the darkness, ears straining for the sound of approaching threat. A passage slopes down a short way, then ends at a T-junction. Two stones are stacked on top of each other against a wall here. Nothing special about the two stones except that they happen to be on top of each other. You turn right. Here the cave system widens. Prudentially stalactites hang from the ceiling as if about to fall and screw you into place. You skirt between them, following the thin, safe path until a side passage opens on the left. Take the left passage. After a few minutes, climb up a shallow incline. You begin to hear something in the distance. A low rumbling. You wait and see what happens. Rumbling gets loud, and then your hair stands on end as you see a large boulder rolling swiftly down the passage towards you. The rock is almost perfect for the fit of the tunnel and is speeding and increasing you. You want your journey here. You turn and run for your life. Oh, no. We died. We died. Let's go right. There's a crystal. Go right. With no Minimite behind you, longer beside you, the world of magic is close to your fingertips once more. Fireball. Fireball. What was fireball? What was fireball? Well, I can control them. Great explosion. Explosions. Killing several and frightening other, which towers back into the other side of the pit. You have brought yourself a few minutes, but you're stuck at the bottom of a pit. Climb out. Alright, got out of the pit. Go straight. Oh, what did I do before? I went right. Let's go left. Go left. You slip through the opening of the small light. Gets more difficult, and we found that at the highest part of the pipe, scraping there, you enter 2 souls rolled down the slope. Left. You go left. Crushing close as the are squeezing you to death. You ever feel like that's well as you feel certain you can go no further. The line passing to reach into. Another pair of rocks are stacked in the corner. What? We found the girl. Hiding in the shadows is the small Sven girl, stacking rocks into hundreds of teeny towers. Come with me. You hold out your hand, and the girl takes it and gets her feet. We'll have to be quiet, she hisses, or else. Suddenly there's a loud roaring from the mouth of the short cavern. The walls begin to shake and tumble. The Sven's stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can head for it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the Sven girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels. Something is coming. You hear the scrambling sound of claws on the rock, and the exit of the tunnel is blocked by a dark, looming shape. A manicore. Huge, terrible. It stands between you and the light and howls its bloody rage. You ready to spell? Causes clumsiness. Causes slowness. Opens doors. I feel like slowness might be what we want. Let's just see what else we have available to us. Force field. Darkness. I feel like dark would be a bad idea. H-U-F. I can't create wind. I already did that one. What's my other options? Yeah, okay. So, slowness or clumsiness look like our options here. I can remember which layer that was under. U-M. I feel like not clumsiness. Clumsiness is a good idea. Causes slowness. Half turn, preparing to swing its tail at you, but then pauses, shakes its head, and an old man's face behind its mane crumbles into a frown. It is as though something has struck it square in the forehead. You have slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you have the advantage, or you can gain time for further sorcery. I think let's get our sword ready. And then just charge. No. Bad idea. Terrible idea. Absolutely worst idea. Need to defend. Me. Okay, make horror. Use magic. I do think the slowness was a good idea. Then we need to do something else. Okay, new spells are available to us now. I don't say that would help. Why? Oh, B. Okay, that was the giant one. A. P. Talk with animals. I can't do that. Mud. Quicksand. Can't do that. Hot. Fireball! Fireball! You cast the spell, creating a huge fireball that you fling at the beast. It makes the damp rock walls sizzle as it flies before striking the creature in the side. It roars out in pain. Medgar roars, making the walls of the chamber shake. But listening closely, you hear a note of fear in the too human voice. It is still a beast of ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You'll have to make this next final spell matter or take it to the task with your sword. I think now we're good with sword. Because it's already, like, hurt. I have to defend, or I will die. Defend. Cut. I can risk it. Let's try again. Okay. So he's gonna go all out. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. That was a bad idea. that was a terribly bad idea. Alright, defend the first one. Go all out with the next one. Go for it on this one. Gotta defend. Cut. Nope. Defend. Go almost all out. So I can do more on this one. Defend. So I get some more stuff back. I should have defended. Should have defended. Okay. I just don't have like a lot of stamina. Hi, Solomon. Yeah, I'm streaming. We're doing an adventure book at the moment. I'm trying to beat a Manicore. Which is not going so well. This game is based off of a... I'm just gonna die. We're gonna die and then do another spell. I think I need to do spell is what I need to do. A spell by another spell and then another spell. Okay, so slowness, fireball, something. D-O... No, not that. Dawes. Cause slowness. Cast a spell. Now we do fireball. Another spell. Okay. What can I do this time? We can do lightning. You activate the spell, creating a lightning bolt that bristles at your palm. Starting to feel the effect of my stupid accent yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. You hear that? Oh, jeez. Defend. Wait, defend on the first one because I can't outpower it. Go all out on this one. Go all out on this one. I think I have more. I gotta defend. I don't have any. I don't have any stamina. Actually, no, because I can't get to my rations right now. Pray for healing? Thank you, Ape! Thank you, brilliant Ape! I needed stamina the worst way. Thank you, Ape. I appreciate you. You are great, great spirit. Thank you, gods. Thank you, apes. At least I was thinking this right. I think, alright, I need to cause slowness. No! That was what I wanted. I need to do fireball. I need to do fireball. I need to die. I need to die so I can do fireball. This is just shameful. Purposely dying. Just do it. One more hit. And I can go back and do fireball. There we go. So come so I can do that again. It was supposed to be slowness, then fireball. And then I can do something else. Okay. We can do this. We got this. We got this. Sonus. Ape. Thank you. For the healing. Cast a spell. For like an hour and I have no idea what in the crap is happening here. Hi, Joker. I'm playing basically a book. And right now I'm fighting a manicore. Which is like a lion beastie thingy. Some explosions. Throw again. Okay, now attack. Okay, we got it down to 10. Doing that. He'll go full at. Then I go full at. Because then he's way further down. I can get a full-on attack in. Defend. Regain my stamina. A little. Cut him down. Well, it's like lion head, like eagle wings, and then you got like scorpion tail. Technical terms, you know? I could have attacked on that one. It's a manicore. Standing firm, you swing at the fearsome strike against the kinda, not really. Manticores are different than griffins. Like, they are separate things, like, so, I don't know. I think they're, like, related technically, but they're different beasts. Because the other griffins are, I think, eagle heads, lion body, and wings. I might be wrong on that. But they don't have scorpion tails. My blade seems almost possessed. It finds its way past the manicore's sweeping claws, through its thick hide, and down into its ancient cruel heart. For a moment, it howls loud enough to make the walls shake, and then everything falls very quiet. We're keeping that outcome. That was like the best outcome. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Sven girl. Thank you, the girl murmurs, then tugging your arm this way. She leads you towards the light through a gap in the rocks to a pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Skipper. You wave for the torch, hoping to attract attention. Tell the girl to call up. Girl, call to your father. The girl nods mutely, then brawls at the top of her lung. Cyrus, I'm here! Chula is just giving out all the things right now. Then something drops down, a rope with the basket at the end. Get in together. The chief calls above. We'll pull you both up. Get in. Get out and let the girl go first. Call up. Start to climb. They're gonna seal me in here. Yeah, hydrate is a command. Like, people can tell me to hydrate. Serial creatures. Their promises of gifts and rewards were all hollow. Setting down the torch, you began to scale and climb the rocky walls. It is a difficult climb, but you're tired. Make it up. I'm sorry. So then fall upon the entrance. Are they sealing it up? No, something falls. The rope, the basket. You clamber quickly in it and they haul you up. Above the ground, the chief helps you onto the grass, his daughter with him, clutching your hand. My daughter says you fought bravely. For that, I am grateful. I invite you with us back to Terpani. Will you come? Yeah, I want my reward. A little generosity cannot hurt you. You nod. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration. You are given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds when you emerge. Thanks, Halo. Hugs all around. Hugs. Cheers. Happiness. We're going to a priest. They're cheering for us. We're going to a feast. The night is glorious. We sleep heavily and rise the next morning to continue our journey. Graf meets you before. My good friend, you saved us. He presses 2 gifts in your hand. A pouch of 10 gold. A fortune for... Good, all the money I lost. And a key. This opens the south city gate of Kara. He tells you, I hope it is of use. Accept my love. Time to go. You take your place. The path winds away from Terpani, and soon you are a downward slope, away from the Shanapari hills, through steeped rice fields. As you walk, you feel the first time of loneliness of the path ahead. Through Kara, it is a busy city. It is cruel, and beyond Kara, there's nothing but a vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in days ahead. The distance rises a great city, the first true stonework you've seen since you left home. Aggressive love and positivity. Your journey through the smooth hills is completed. Along the way, you have made no useful friends and have been given a key to the gates of Kara. You have collected some magical artifacts, a vial of blue, nose plug, and 5 petals. You are still armed with the original sword and have 4 rations and 11 gold pieces and a spell book. Oh, okay. So, I can go on to do the next book, or we can call the stream here and I can do the next book in the next stream. If I remember right, the second book is a lot longer than the first book. And I still need to eat dinner. I have not ate dinner tonight. And I'm out of water. So I think I'm going to call the stream there. I'm going to save this. So that way we have it. I should save that so I have my name. Yeah, save for the next stream. I think I'll save it for the next stream then. There are 4 books in total. Okay, I have our name. I'll go eat and drink some food. Drink some food. Drink some water. And we'll do the next book in like another stream. This was fun. I had fun with this little adventure game. It was fun to play. Let's go raid someone. Let's see, who is currently streaming that we can raid? If it will let me load the page. I think it's a J. I have a picture of it, so we should be good. Alright, let's go raid. Why is it not loading anyone up for me right now? Absolutely nothing is loading. Hold on. Let me see who's